After watching this video, you will have learned the most important Stoic concept of the dichotomy of control and how we can apply it to our everyday lives to become mentally stronger. Epictetus said, "My principal task in life is this, to distinguish between things and establish a division between them and say, external things are not within my power. Choice is within my power." This concept within Stoic philosophy is called the dichotomy of control. Let's take a look at what exactly the dichotomy of control is and how we can use it to improve our lives. The dichotomy of control is the Stoic idea of separating things that are within our control from things that are outside of our control. In a simple division, things that are within our control are our thoughts and actions. Things outside of our control are everything else. Once we understand the concept of the dichotomy of control, we can focus more on the things that are within our control and stop wasting time trying to control the things we simply cannot control. But first, here are some concrete examples of things that are within our power. These are, for example, our opinions and judgments, our wishes, our actions, our goals, our reaction to events. And here are some things that are out of our control. The outcome of an event, our health, our wealth, our reputation, our past. Perhaps many will ask, how is it that these things are not in my control? Well, if we think about it a bit more deeply, can we really control, for example, our health, our wealth, or our reputation? We can exercise regularly, eat super healthy food, but can still get a deadly disease. We can graduate from college and enjoy an excellent education and still be unemployed. We can be an honest person with integrity, always trying to be fair to others, and yet other people can talk badly about us. For these reasons, all things outside our thoughts and actions are not under our control. Trying our best to be healthy does not mean that we are immune to disease. All we can do in this case is try to influence the outcome. But the outcome is still out of our control. We only have control over how we react to the outcome. Epictetus puts it this way: some things are within our power, while others are not. Within our power are opinion, motivation, desire, aversion, and, in a word, whatever is of our own doing. Not within our power are our body, our property, reputation, office, and, in a word, whatever is not of our own doing. We do not need to know anything else about Stoicism to find this concept insightful and useful, since it can be applied immediately. It gives us both comfort against life's difficulties and motivation to improve ourselves. When we remember to focus on what we can control in painful or stressful situations, it has an immediate calming effect. It gives us permission to turn our attention away from the circumstance that is causing us pain or frustration. And often, such a change of focus not only alleviates the symptoms, but also helps us to better resolve the problem, or at least to recognize whether or not the problem is really affecting us. Marcus Aurelius writes in his Meditations that things have no hold on the soul. They stand there unmoving, outside it. Disturbance comes only from within, from our own perceptions. Outside of difficult moments, it gives us a growth mindset for self-improvement. It is a call to shift from result to process thinking. If we want to be happier and better people, we should narrow our focus to improving ourselves. It's also a call to be mindful and present in the here and now, where we have control, rather than in the past or future, where we don't. So if we follow the dichotomy of control, we need to understand that we are in control of how we react to certain events, what goals we either follow or don't follow, whether we act or do not act in a particular situation, and our opinions and judgments that we apply to situations. We have no control over other people or their actions, judgments, beliefs, thoughts, and values. We have no direct control over the weather, natural disasters, politics, economic crisis, etc. The problem is that many people care about things that are beyond their control and think they can control them. This inevitably results in emotional suffering. We end up feeling powerless, frustrated, anxious, ineffective, or angry. We suffer. Epictetus puts it this way: the things that are within our power are by nature free and immune to hindrance and obstruction, while those that are not within our power are weak, slavish, subject to hindrance, and not our own. Remember then, that if you regard that which is by nature slavish as being free, and that which is not your own as being your own, you will have cause to lament, you will have a troubled mind, and you will find fault with both gods and human beings. But if you regard only that which is your own as being your own, and that which isn't your own as not being your own, as is indeed the case, no one will ever be able to coerce you, no one will hinder you, you will find fault with no one, you will accuse no one, you will do nothing whatever against your will, you will have no enemy, and no one will ever harm you, because no harm can affect you. How can the dichotomy of control help us in our daily lives? The dichotomy of control helps us change our perspective in two important ways. First, when we are able to identify what is out of our control, we no longer waste our time and energy trying to change it. We see it for what it is, accept it, and move on to what we can control. Second, when we are able to identify what is within our control, we can, on the other hand, focus our time and energy on taking action in those areas and moving forward. By understanding the Stoic concept of the dichotomy of control, we can better learn to live a virtuous life. We begin to understand which situations really require our energy and which do not. By understanding what is under our control, arguments and disputes become less important and easier to let go of, because we understand that we have no control over the opinions, interpretations, and actions of others. Only when we truly understand ourselves, we are able to move forward on our path to a virtuous life and realize our full potential. What do we do when we can't change something but want to limit its impact on our well-being? Well, being able to identify what we can and cannot control also helps us evolve as people. If we are suffering, but the thing that is causing our suffering is beyond our control, then we have only one option. We need to change the way we look at it. Viktor Frankl said, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are then required to change ourselves." To make it easier to distinguish between events that are within our control and those that are not, we can categorize and analyze events of a day very easily. We write down the event, whether it was in our control or not, and the reasons why. Example: the event, the train is late. Do I have control over it? No. The reason? I have no control over train delays. Second example: the event, car runs out of gas. Do I have control over it? Yes. The reason? I could have filled up the tank when the light came on, but I did not. If we master the subdivision well, we can ask ourselves, is there anything we can do about it? If no, then why waste time worrying or getting angry? Or, as Epictetus would say, that's nothing to me. If so, then we can take action against it instead of worrying about it. The third option is to know that we can do something, but we choose not to. The dichotomy of control could be criticized as passive. However, it focuses our energy exactly where we can add value to our lives, rather than wasting it on things that are out of our control, no matter how much we complain, suffer, or dislike them. Of course, it takes a lot of work, time, practice, and mindfulness to apply it in daily life. The progress of daily application also depends on how strongly some habits, subconscious ways of thinking, or tendencies are rooted in us. But we always have the possibility to decide how to react to events. We always have the possibility to make the best of what is in our power. We always have the option to accept the rest as it happens. To conclude with the words of Epictetus, practice then from the very beginning to say to every disagreeable impression, you are an impression and not at all what you appear to be. Then examine it and test it by these rules that you possess, and first and foremost by this one: whether the impression relates to those things that are within our power or those that aren't within our power. And if it relates to anything that isn't within our power, be ready to reply, that's nothing to me. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel, and more importantly, share the video with someone who can benefit from this content. Thank you and stay inspired.